thing. And I put in there, anybody who puts an order in today is entered into the late bird drawing, and I have a little image for it. Sometimes the late bird can catch the worm. And it's always gotten me at least 2 extra orders. My last party got me 6 or 7. So it brings in those people, and, you know, then they have a chance to win one little extra prize from you. So, you know, if you want the information, just message me and I'll give it to you, because it's always helped me when a party is a little slow or laggish, or even if it's a good party, it still brings in some extra orders, you know?
Yeah. I love it. And matter of fact, I have one closing tonight. I'm gonna use your late bird drawing. That was a great idea.
It works. I mean, I came up with it at the last minute one time. I'm like, this party is so slow. Something has to give, you know, and it worked. So
awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get on the ball here. And I think I just seen somebody else join.
Am I not getting any?
Was it Karen that just joined us?
I'm trying to figure out why it's blurry. My glasses would help, huh?
Oh, yes. Can you see now? All right. So we are 6 weeks to success here, class number 2. Give yourself a hip, hip hooray for staying on board 2 weeks in a row. They say to form successful habits, you have to do something at least for 30 days. So we're going to give it a little longer than 30 days. We're going to go, 6 weeks of this. And you should learn lots. And the commitment is huge. That's one of the biggest things. Like I said at the beginning, it's just like, exercise and dieting. It's hard to get started and it's hard to stay. But you start really feeling better about yourself as you go along. So welcome and congratulations for sticking with it. So you made it to week 2. Wasn't that call great?
Yeah, it was good.
Do you guys like that call? Both Joe and Christina shared so many great tips. They're amazing. Christina Cunningham actually is my sister director. So we've grown up in Pampered Chef together for years and years and years. And she's always just run a phenomenal business. So just real quick, everybody just take one turn and just say what your favorite thing about one great tip that you got from the call. Say your name first and then your great tip.
My name is Mercedes, and I think one of the great things out of the tip was sorry, she sidetracked my thought, was how enthusiastic they got about the products, because I mean, how they can make you so excited about a frying pan or or a pizza cutter or whatever, just on their enthusiasm. And I think that's something that I've already done, so I could connect with that. Like someone comes to my house and like, isn't this thing great? And I've always done that. My husband's told me for years. He's like, are you selling this? No matter what I have. So it's like, I feel like I can connect with that.
What did you hit?
Yeah, I agree. The enthusiasm is really sky high. Okay, who else?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Karen? Do you want to share?
Sorry, I just got my audio.
Oh, I can hear you.
It was the speaker button we had to hit, so my husband was helping me. So we're talking about the video. Yeah.
The audio training from Christina and Joe.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything anybody else said, so I'm not sure what I should add, but.
So Mercedes says her favorite part was their enthusiasm about the products.
Right. I think the thing that made the most impact on me was how well that you need to know the products before you talk about them, or present them, and how important it is to not just talk about the features of them, but talk about the benefits, and getting to know your guests real well to see what they really need and what they're looking for.
Yes, that's called servant selling. Exactly. You serve them and find out what their need is, and absolutely the features and benefits, because a different audience, and most women like the benefits. Tell me what it's going to do for me. So good job. Okay, who else? Jennifer?
I think the getting to trust, when they talked about getting you to trust getting the guests to trust you.
Yes. And what was one way they got their guests to trust them?
Being just like them. You're there too. You're a person too.
Yeah.
You know, you have your family, they have their family, and you guys do the same thing. You know, you're not above them because of what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. We are not these great chefs, and things just work out great for us, that we're just normal moms, you know, trying to get a good meal on the table as quick as we can. Yeah, exactly. All right. So that's great. I could listen. Every time I listen to that audio, I get something new and useful out of it. So, well, now that you have some amazing selling skills under your belt, you'll be able to start sharing these great tips and ideas when you're doing your shows. Even a quick live segment in your Facebook parties will put a great twist in your virtual parties. Because you believe in what you are selling and you know how to present it. It's natural for us to start talking about bookings and prospecting next. So share. That's what we're all about, is sharing. And it's easy, super easy to share what you're excited about once you're educated on it. If you have products that will change, people's lives, either by, you know, putting a homemade meal on the table so that their family can enjoy together, or even with our business opportunity to maybe being able to do something they couldn't do the month before. Did you know that families who eat together have children who do better on their SATs, better interviewing skills, are less promiscuous, less apt to do drugs, smoke, or drink? This simple act of eating together can change so much. I can tell you from personal experience growing up that this is true. When you know information like that, it's hard not to share what you know. How does that make you feel to know that you're having an impact on our future generations just by going to work? Anybody?
Yeah, I really think that this is getting more and more important, you know, as the years go by. I remember how important this was to me when I first started like 20 years ago, but it's so much more important now because there's really so few families that really eat together, you know, maybe more than once or twice a week.
And I was going to say once or twice a year.
Well, you're doing good if you're once or twice a week.
Yeah. I know, because time is just, you know, gobbled up by different things, or, you know, that art of, you know, doing something, you know, cooking just because everybody needs to eat is gone because it's so readily available. So are there, you know, different places. But it's not all about the food. It's about the time you share with one another. And I'm going to have to look for an expert from the books that I showed you. Doris Christopher's first book, one of the things she said in there was so powerful to me. And I'll pull it out right now so I don't forget, but I'll post it. And it was this one. But I'll post it again. Okay, so it's easy to share when you're out and about. So we're talking about being out and about, trying to share what we do. You're not, you know, during your virtual parties. You don't have any virtual parties. You don't have any bookings. So let's do it in your everyday life. So one thing you can do is you can wear Pampered Chef logo. And we have a company that prints our logo wear, or, you know, there's a lot of different places that they won't print our actual logo, but you could print something that says Pampered Chef. But wear Pampered Chef logo. Carry a Pampered Chef bag. And if you go into some of the craft stores, they have those bags that have plastic windows in them, and you can put, you know, pictures of your family and stuff, but you could also get our recipe cards. And they're very colorful. You can put them in there, put your label on the other side, and not only does it advertise through the window on one side, but then your information is on the back. Wear your name badge. If you don't have anything else, maybe just, oops, I forgot I had that on. Or if you're really bold, maybe go to the store in your apron. I know for me, sometimes after my actual cooking shows, I just forget to take my apron off. And I've had to run into the store and grab something, and I look down and I'm kind of embarrassed at first. I'm like, oh God, I still have my apron on. But then I just kind of straighten up and walk around with it. The other thing you can do is carry a Pampered Chef cookbook to find the ingredients for a recipe. Make sure that's visible, as you're walking around the grocery store. When you're in the baking aisle, carry the Naughty Brownie recipe cards and give them away. I know what you're thinking. Like, you want me to talk to people while I'm out the store, and you're probably thinking I'm a little crazy right now because this seems really awkward, right? Anybody?
Not so much.
Ooh, I got a good crowd here. Well,
I was on the phone making an appointment today, and I told the lady I did this, and she goes, "Bring a catalog when you come." So
yeah, you guys are a good group then.
Okay.
So I'm not really crazy. We are responsible for our own advertising. We are our own way that people will know anything about what we do. Anywhere there are people, there are those who eat, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many of you struggled with dinner before Pampered Chef? Me. How many of you struggled with which tools to use for dinner?
Me.
How many of you stared at your cabinet or fridge hoping something would jump out at you for dinner?
Yeah.
So did all these people you're surrounded by. I think of it as being selfish if I don't share. So what do I say? Questions are a great conversation starter. Hi, is this a good brownie mix brand? I'm making this recipes to try out. And then you could show them the brownie card. Do you think this is a good brand? Have you heard of Pampered Chef? And what do you think they say?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love Pampered Chef. I know, right? When's the last time you've been to a party? Would you like a new product flyer? I'd love to follow up with you and see what you think about the new products. Can I get your information? And then what I do on any information that I have in my purse or my bag, I put a sticky on it. So I hand them the catalog or the flyer and I say, here is this. If you could just write down your information, your name, address, phone number, social security number, and how much you weigh. No, not all that. I'll get back with you, and I'll also enter you in my new customer drawing for the month. And so they'll give you your information. Most of the time, they just give you like their email address or something, easy. And then at least you have exchanged. Okay, so anything you have with you, put a sticky on it so you can get their information back. If you give information out, the likelihood of that person getting back to you are small. You have to follow up within the next 24 to 48 hours, or you might as well throw that lead away.
What do you mean by put a sticky on it?
Just like those Post-it notes.
Yeah.
So just put a Post-it note on your information. And so you hand them over the catalog. It has the Post-it note. You give them a pen. They write their information on the Post-it note, and that goes to you. They keep the catalog.
Oh, I see. Put it on there before you give it. Oh, okay. I get it.
Mm-hmm. So people lose about 10% interest every day that they don't hear from you. So if everybody that you have given something to out today, let's say they're 80% interested in what you have to offer. If you call them tomorrow, that's 70. The next day, 60. The next day, 50 and 40. And then it's a little bit harder to, even touch base with them. And plus, these people aren't at a party, so they don't really know you. So it's even a little bit, they lose more interest. So another way is in the checkout line. You might say, I can't wait to try these brownies at home. Don't they look amazing? When she asks about them, you can say, have you heard of the Pampered Chef? And then they're going to say what?
Yes, usually.
Oh, yes.
I love Pampered Chef. And then you say, I know, right? When's the last time you've seen a catalog? Here's the same thing. Here's a copy of our latest summer products. And we have some great ones right now. Check out our new ice cream maker. Simply Homemade is taking the world by storm. Just look at the labeling on the things in your cart. They'll say natural. And, you know, this dye-free, this gluten-free, this everything-free. You know what I mean? So people want simple. I'd love to follow up and see what you think about our new products and put you in my new customer drawing. Hand them the Post-it note or the drawing slip. Can I get your information to follow back up with you? Great, thanks so much. So simple things like that when you're out and about. It could be even like maybe you're shopping for shoes and say, oh, yeah, I need something very comfortable. Have you ever heard of the Pampered Chef? And they'll say, yeah, I love Pampered Chef. Say, oh, well, I do cooking shows and I like something very easy so that, you know, I'm on my feet a couple hours at a time. And so that it's easy for me to, you know, something comfortable that I can get in and out. Or anything like that, you can always tie Pampered Chef into. Leave my hair a little bit longer because I like to put it up when I do my cooking shows. So, you know, and then you talk about Pampered Chef. But can you think of some other ways you can tie in Pampered Chef to any time you're out and about different things? How about at the bank?
The bank.
You got to set up an account for Pampered Chef? I don't know.
Very good. Exactly. I need another personal account. Can I use this personal account for my Pampered Chef business? Exactly. What are some other things you could tie Pampered Chef into as you're out and about? How about, do we have some Jennifers on the line?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think? Take a stab at it. One more idea that out and about. I mean, think of the things.
I was actually at the grocery store, I think like a week or two ago, and a past guest I ran into, and she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, I actually needed to order something. So we started talking, and then somebody walked by, and she heard us say something about Pampered Chef, and she's like, oh my God, she's like, they're still around? I was like, yes, we're still around.
That's kind of a compliment there. Oh, they're still around. I don't know if she hasn't heard from anybody or, you know, it's been some longevity in the business. So yeah, actually, if you're at school, you know, I'm so excited I get to come and help out at school. I have a fun, flexible business with Pampered Chef. You know, anything that you're doing, tie it in so that you can create those contacts throughout the day. They'll become easier and easier and easier. Oh, I brought our new brownies in to the office for the potluck. Have you heard of Pampered Chef? I just started with the Pampered Chef. This is one of the first recipes that I've tried. So now
I'm sorry, Rocky. I have a cute little story to tell.
Okay.
We were up in Minneapolis for the weekend. We went to a friend's birthday party up there, and the host, the gal I was telling my friends that were there that, you know, that I was doing Pampered Chef again and stuff. And she said to me, she goes, well, I have a question. She says, I have a Pampered Chef wine opener that it's not working very well. After talking to her a while, I found out it was like 20 years old. It was like the original one, the black plastic
thing on the bottom
that, you know, you turn it on the top. And I didn't even remember they had them back then. But when I saw it, I was like, I just started laughing. I'm like, well, I said, I think if they still had these, I'm sure they would replace it, because all it was doing, it wouldn't take the cork off like it's supposed to, once you get the cork out. And I said, well, I'm sure they would have replaced it if we still had these, but we have a lot nicer ones now. And I, of course, gave her a catalog, and so she's, it's just kind of funny. I said, you'll have to take a look at the new ones we have now.
Right. I know. It's funny what people still have. I mean, I still, with our old hen logo, that they'll whip things out that are, have lasted that long. So, well, cool. So maybe you got her a shot at a new wine bottle opener, huh?
Yeah. She'll be, I'm sure, a lifelong customer.
That's awesome. So now if your customer really, they get excited about the products, then ask them right then and there. I mean, if you can tell, they're like, oh my gosh, I love Pampered Chef. And like, they're telling you about all these products they have and they use, and their mom had it and their granny had it and all this stuff. You can just go right into, ask them if they'd like to have a show and get some of our newer products completely free. And it's truly that easy. You're just probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's a long shot if I ever, was out at somewhere and got a booking, but it happens all the time. You just have to talk about it, and you just have to ask. And sometimes you stutter when you first start doing it, but it gets easier and easier and easier. When you start seeing it as a service instead of a chore, it'll become much easier and more fun. And prospecting when you're out and about is nothing more than a friendly conversation. You also want to be prepared when someone asks you what you do. You don't want to be fumbling around and come up with words that describe what you do. So always be prepared with your 20-second commercial. And here are some examples. I help, if someone says, oh, Mercedes, what do you do? You might say something like, I help create mealtime memories with quality tools and tasty recipes. Have you heard of the Pampered Chef? Or I show busy families how to get dinner on the table in less than 30 minutes. Have you heard of the Pampered Chef? I help people realize that cooking can be fun when you have the right tools. Have you heard of the Pampered Chef? I help people discover their inner Rachel Ray. Have you heard of the Pampered Chef? So, and what do you think their response is, like 99% of the time?
Oh, yeah. I've always heard a positive response. Everyone knows the company. So I feel like I said, I think I shared last time that I did Jamboree in the past, and this has been so much easier because everybody knows the product, and it just, everybody, has had a positive experience with it. So since it's so positive for everybody, or if they don't even personally haven't used it themselves, they've heard of somebody who has talked about it, and so they have that positive vibe. So it really helps lessen the burden of asking about it. It's easy.
Yeah, I mostly hear this. I love Pampered Chef.
Yeah, me too.
Are mostly the things that we get back. I love Pampered Chef. And I'm so glad I'm not a lawyer, because no one ever says, oh, I love lawyers. But, I didn't know, Mercedes. I hadn't heard you had done Jamboree before. So we've prospected all over. I mean, we're shopping for shoes, getting our hair done, at the bank, in the brownie aisle, all over. Let's talk about booking at your shows. Bookings are the heart of your business. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Without bookings,
without them,
no business. And the magic number is 2. You never want to close a party without 2 bookings. You have one show to replace the one you did, and then you have
More to
another
grow
show
on.
that will grow your business. So in this example, it shows the benefit of booking 2 shows from every party. So in your first month, right here, can you see this? Month 1, you have 6 parties dated. And we're going to do a cancellation of 2. Somebody got sick, maybe 2 parties didn't qualify, whatever the case may be. So you're actually going to submit 4 parties. 4 parties held, and you book 2 parties off of each one of those, you're going to have 8 new parties. So you go into month 2 with 8 new parties. Again, 2 are going to cancel. Somebody got sick, a party didn't qualify. So you actually are going to submit 6 parties. 6 parties submitted, you book 2 off of each of those parties. It's going to give you 12 new parties. So you go into month 3 with 12 parties. Again, 2 cancel. Somebody got sick, a show didn't qualify, so you have 10 parties to submit. Each of those 10 parties you booked had 2 bookings. You now have 20 parties going into month 4. 20 parties. Here's what's exciting about that. 20 parties, probably you're going to have a little bit more cancellations. A couple more aren't going to qualify. A couple more hosts are going to get sick. You're going to be able to submit 16 parties. And when each of those 2 have bookings, that's 32 new parties by the end of month 4. And the most exciting thing about that to me is that you can start giving some of these parties away and very freely asking your hosts, hey, would you like this to be your very first show? Sometimes when you only have 4 parties and you offer that, you're like, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't take it because that's one of my parties, right? But if you're going in with, 12 parties, 20 parties, 32 parties, you're going to be able to offer that opportunity with enthusiasm every single time and asking that host, hey, would you like this to be your very first party? Because you already have enough on your personal calendar. All right, so let's look at the next example when you book 1 party from every party. Month 1, you started out the same. You have 6 parties dated, still 2 cancel, and you have 4 parties to submit. You have booked 1 party off each of those parties. So you have 4 parties. Going into month 2, you have 4 parties. Again, 2 cancel, 1 got sick, 1 show didn't qualify. You have 2 parties to submit. And you booked 1 party off of each. So now you have 2 parties going into month 3. Month 3, you have again 2 cancellations. So now you have 0 parties, and month 4, you're out of business.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? So
Yeah.
we want to concentrate on booking 2 parties from every show. So we say we are not through until we book 2. In order to get 2 bookings, you have to ensure you do a few things. Okay, and here's a list. You can kind of think about the kind of business you're running. Number 1, first and foremost, you have to host coach effectively. And we'll cover host coaching next week. It's my favorite thing. So if you have a great system that you do with every single host right now, great. I would just keep sharpening that and polishing up and just keep making it bigger and better. If you don't have anything, then that's where we're going to start. Start on time with your parties, whether they're live or virtual. If you say the party is going to start on Wednesday, make sure that party starts on Wednesday. Not like, oh, I forgot to set up the Post My Party, or I didn't, create the event. Is it okay if we start tomorrow? That kind of thing. It's still, make it very important to you. If you're doing live shows, make sure your dishes are clean. Make sure you're dressed appropriately. And that's also for your virtual parties. If there's pictures of yourself or if you're going live, You know, you don't want too much stuff hanging out up here or anything like that. Or the camera angle is bad. You know, just make sure that it's very professional. If you're in-home, smell good, be well-groomed. Talk about our high-priced products. Create a desire for beyond their budget. Okay? If they're not going to buy it, then perhaps that's going to help your booking situation.
Earn it.
Exactly. Make your host feel special and appreciated. Use her name a lot. Talk about her a lot. How excited you are to work with her. Thank her. Because people feel that warm connection. You're on the ball. You're doing a great job with this host. I want to work with her. Go over bookings in your intro, during your demo several times or throughout your party, and in your closing. If you're using my template or following the outline for cooking shows on Consultants Corner, these are already built in. And if you're not putting something on your posts for your virtual parties every day about bookings, something funny, something, you know, very technical, like about bookings or anything like that, but you want something every day. They say people book shows for 3 reasons. One is because the number one reason is because they had a great time and they want to repeat that with their friends. 2, they want to help their host out by booking and she gets something from that. And 3, they want something free. So those are the 3 things you want to cover when you're putting those booking posts up. Those three tugs, because they had fun and they want to repeat that with their friends, because they want to help their host out, and because they want something free. Use the door prize drawing slip or your virtual prize drawing slip. You know, walk them through what's going to be on it, and tell them to check yes. You know, these are the things that I'm going to ask you. Make sure you check yes. You know, giggle, giggle. Do the 3-pile checkout. Ask every single guest and be able to handle objections. And my favorite one is that no, not now, or no, not ever?
No, not ever.
Yeah. No, not now.
Becky drilled that into me.
What? You're good at that?
I said Becky drilled that into me, yeah.
Yes. It works because
it helps, yeah.
Just not right now. You know, it's just not right now. And when you ask people, you know, if they'd like to book a show, they instantly think it has to be right now. Mm-hmm. They don't think that they could do it in 2 weeks, in next month, or something like that. And if you have a really good calendar system, you're not going to forget them. Say, don't worry, I won't let you forget. I'll remind you.
Mm-hmm. Or and it just gives you a chance to follow up with them, that you know you still have their permission. You don't feel, it gives you confidence to follow back up with them. Right, that you're not nagging them, you know. Mm-hmm. That's what I found, you know, because I have some people, I just reached out to a lady. She was a possible recruit and a party, but she was going through an audit at work. Now her assistant quit at work, you know, and she's like, it's just not right time. I said, am I still able to, you know, and I reached out to her. She was still very positive, but she said, just not right now. And I said, okay, so I could still contact you in the future. And she was fine with that, you know, so at least it's not possible right now for her, you know, even though she's interested, but not totally, you know, at least I know I still have that comfort zone to reach out to her, that I'm not aggravating her, you know.
Right. You feel like you have permission. She said, yes, I will. I want to. Just later. Exactly. And I always say, you know, I'm just touching base like I promised I would, you know, like I promised I would, because I'm not a slacker. I'm going to follow up. If I told you I was going to do something, I'm really going to do it. Okay. If they said no to a cooking show, ask if they'll do a virtual party. If they said no to a virtual party, ask them about doing a cooking show or a fundraiser. Sometimes they don't view a fundraiser as a party. Mm-hmm. Mm. So if you throw a fundraiser out, do you have, you know, how about a fundraiser?
I've always thrown that in at the end. Like I throw the party idea out there first, and they say, well, the fundraiser, or even if you know someone who's getting married, please share my name with them. You know, like, I mean, it hasn't led me to that necessarily. I got one for a wedding, you know, not a wedding, a first year anniversary kind of thing. And they hadn't bought a house, new home,
throw all kinds of, because they might not want to do it for themselves, but they might want to throw a bridal.
She's doing it for her sister. Yeah, exactly.
Ask for referrals of someone who would like a party. Say, I really, appreciate, I understand that, it's not good for you, but if you know of anybody that would loves these kind of things, they like getting their friends together, they like being on Facebook, they just love the products or cooking, would you refer me? Turn your host into a booking agent for you, because they get 50% off for every booking. And something that I have used before the party starts, and I said, hey, what do you think about gambling? And do you like to gamble? And, they'll, I don't know, what do you got, Rocky? And I say, well, what about this? If you can think of 3 people, I want you to put them on a piece of paper, fold them up, and at the end of the party, when we close your show, I'm going to try to guess who those 3 people are. And if I guess them and they have booked a show, if I guess the ones that booked a show, then you get an extra prize, some cleaning cloths or something. So what do you think she's going to do?
Talk it up to those people. Yeah. Well, and something I do now with my host, because sometimes I have a week where I just have one party, and so like the host game for them to compete against each other isn't really applicable to to them, so because they're by themselves hosting a party. And so now I've done a thing where if I get 2 bookings off of their show, I let the host pick a gift from the $10 and under category, and if I get 4 bookings, I'll give them like the ceramic egg cooker for free.
Yeah.
So it entices them to talk up to their friends about, and it entices them to participate, the host, a little bit more, because they know I tell them, you don't even have to secure the bookings, just talk it up to them, because it helps. I'm straight out with that. I'm like, it helps. I said, without it, I don't stay in business. So, and I tell them that, I need your, and most
win-win.
Right.
Yeah. And so
you get something.
Mercedes just covered number 14. Exactly.
Sorry.
They get the prize in the bag. I told you I was going to let her do this. Okay, number 15, know about your products. When you know you're doing the demo, to create the interest in purchasing or booking. So right now, anything next month is 60% off. And so then, that. So let's say it was a particular thing. What is the special in July? Are they Rock Crocs?
Double host rewards and 60% off Rock Crocs. Yeah.
So I'm going to really be talking about Rock Crocs, and let's say in June, I'm going to talk about those Rock Crocs, and don't worry, Mercedes, and I don't care if you buy this full price for $135, but if you want a screaming deal, then you want to book in June and get it for, and you always want to say the actual price, not the 60% off, not that it's 60% off. So what are Rock Crocs, $135? Is that right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. Depending on which size, which one you want.
So yes, instead of $135, you're going to be able to get this for $39 when you book a show in July. So always talk about that guest special and the advantage of, in not purchasing it on the party. But I always say, don't worry, Mercedes and I don't care if you get it tonight and get one for your mom. Go ahead, order up. But if you really want a screaming deal, go ahead and book in July and get it for $39. So always use that in your party, what's coming up the next month, or maybe even that if you have room at the end of your month to still squeeze something in and talk about the products that are the host special and how much in an actual dollar amount, not a percentage. People don't calculate that well. Smile a lot and have fun with your people. Like I said, the number one reason people book a show is because they have fun and they want that for them and their family and friends. 17, have your calendar ready and clear to book the dates right there. You have to know your next available dates. And when you're doing virtual parties, that's pretty easy because we book them every other week, right? Is everybody on that schedule? If you're not on the every other week schedule, do yourself and your brain a favor so that you're not starting and stopping and having all these parties all over the place. If you just keep them together every other week, it's systematic and everything starts on one day, ends on one day, submitted on one day. But if you're doing cooking shows, now that's a little different. You have to have your calendar ready so you know what dates are available to book. You go home and you check your calendar, I'll go home and check my calendar, will result in no bookings. You have to book that night of the show right there. And something magical that I use for all bookings, whether they're virtual or live, is I say, I want to get Jennifer as much party credit as I can. Can I pencil you in? And as we get closer, I'll see if this date is still good. If it's good, we go forward. If it's not, we can reschedule. Or if you've completely changed your mind, I promise I will not show up. Can we pencil this in so I can give Jennifer as much party credit as I can? And when I'm at a live show, I have a pencil. And then you put them on a date. And I do touch base with them 6 weeks before that party. And I say, hey, thanks for scheduling a show. Is this date still great? And if I touch base with them 6 weeks before, and they say, you know what, Rocky, I can't do it that day. I'm having surgery. It still gives me enough room. 6 weeks before that show gives me enough room to rebook that date. If they cancel, that week of the show, it's hard to re-employ myself for that date. Okay, so I want you to start saying, I consistently book 2 shows from every party. I am a booking magnet. Everybody wants to book a show with me.
Should we put that on our mirror in the morning? I am a booking magnet.
I am a booking magnet. Everybody wants to book a show with me. And remember, going back
we
to
should make a magnet that says
what?
that. We need to make a magnet that says that.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Have good magnet skills. Yes. So going back to call 1 on what our brain believes anything, this is what we need to start telling it. A lot of times, including myself, I'll say, I have called everybody and nobody wants to host a show. So you got to take that out of your vocabulary, saying everybody, nobody, all of those, because we all know that is impossible to call everybody in the entire United States. And that nobody in the entire United States wants to have a party with you. So instead of saying that, be truthful with yourself. If you really want to give it some power, you can say, I have called 15 people. And out of those 15 people, I actually talked to 4. And 4 of them did not want to book a party. Give it some numbers. Because then you're like, okay, well, I really only touched base with 4 people. And give it some credibility. But if you say everybody and nobody, that is a difficult hump to get over. It's just over by then. But if you give it an actual number on what you actually did and look at it and say, can I try again? Yes, you can try again. So keep telling yourself, I consistently book 2 shows from every party. I am a booking magnet. Everybody wants to book a show with me. So again, last week we discussed our belief system, and I challenged you to strengthen your system so much that your belief in our 3 opportunities just exudes from you. The opportunity to purchase, the opportunity to book shows, the opportunity to join one of the fastest growing teams in Pampered Chef. When you wake up, the first thing you should think is, whose life will I change today? Who do I get to share with? Who do I get to invite? Who do I get to have fun with? And the other thing this just popped into my mind is I hear people say, she's going to do a party for me. I want you to change that around. I'm going to do a party for her. Okay? I'm going to do a party for her, not she's going to do a party for me. And things get a little different. So this week, I want you to look at your passion behind this company's booking opportunity. You have got to believe that what we have is the best thing ever, and so completely passionate about it that you can't help booking a ton of parties. You are passionate about your parties. You're passionate about your products. Can they tell that you're in love with your products? Can they tell that when you talk about bookings, how much fun it's going to be and how crazy they'd be not to have one? How crazy would they not be to have one? Can you paint a picture so clear that they have to join your team? Any passion about those 3 opportunities we have? So here we go again. Answer honestly. Are you passionate about our products?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I know, huh?
Yes.
Love those knives. They just flip through effortlessly. Okay. Are you passionate about booking shows?
Yes.
Gonna be.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's excited? I see some consultants, they are posting how much they gave their host free, a screenshot of how much reward she got free, or, when you get your products, can you post a picture and tag me in it? Get passionate about it. Are you passionate about sharing our business opportunity?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we got some yes.
Yes.
Okay, so one thing, whether you are or you're not, it shows.
Yep, that's true.
If you do not feel passionate, how can you find your passion? I don't know if I was too crazy about this cooking thing when I started. Like I said, I did not know how to cook, but it was my way to bring in an income. So finding your passion, you can go ahead and, if you haven't registered for National Conference, register and attend. You can use your Pampered Chef dollars, and I'll tell you what, it will light the passion like crazy. You just won't even be able to sit down on the plane on the way home. Be so excited. Go through Pampered Chef University again if you've already gone through it. Watch the videos. Watch some of the consultants that do live cooking shows. How passionate they are about our product. Play with your tools at home. Use our Pampered Chef products all the time. Attend team meetings and trainings. Listen to training calls. Write this down because you should probably, once you get done with one training call, listen to another. When I started, we had cassette tapes that we had a lending library from Pampered Chef, and we could check them out.
Oh, yeah.
So, does anybody remember that?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, and I was always checking them out, and because we couldn't share like this. You went to one meeting once a month, and other than that, you were all by yourself. So those audios trained me, and I got all kinds of information and ideas. But you just go to Consultants Corner, go to the Training and Resource tab, and training audios, and it's on everything from being organized to bookings to host coaching. There's all kinds of things, all different personality styles, all different situations that consultants are in. So you'll be able to connect with someone somehow. The other thing is find a Batter Bowl buddy. There could be people right here on this call that you connect with. You like their enthusiasm or their situation, and it keeps you accountable. You just say, hey, I heard that, you wanted to submit 6 shows this month, and I want to do that too. How'd you get those bookings? And, just friend each other. Mm-hmm. Find a fair or booth to work so you can hear how much everybody loves Pampered Chef. Come to a recipe night, and that's either live or Zoom in when we do them. and then find a PC mentor. You're going to, and I don't say like mentor, like you're going to meet with them and, you know, get all this wisdom, but you're going to find somebody through the training audios, somebody that has a business that you like, and they're just going to be like, you can't wait to hear them speak again. You're going to find everything they've done either on YouTube or other training stuff that you just connect with. And there may be more than one. You can also hook up with anybody on our own team, Becky, myself, Dawn, any of the other directors. Any questions so far?
I have a question.
Oh, good.
When we were talking earlier about, you know, sharing and stuff. Now, back when I signed up in October, I got the, what do you call them? The decals for my car.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't put them on yet.
Mm-hmm.
I finally took them out of the box. I don't know, do any of you have those? And do they go on the outside?
Yeah, they should go on the outside. You'll want to clean your window really good and put them on. And I bet if there's a local car wash that they could, you know, you could take it in and they could line it up and get your window all clean and put them on for you.
Well, that's an idea. But yeah, it just didn't say in the directions. It talked about cleaning. I just didn't think they'd go on the outside. But because they're not backwards, I figured they'd have to.
Yeah,
Anyway.
That's what I would do, or mine would be crooked. It'd be like angled, or you know, just a little bit.
Have you had what kind of experience? Do you have them on your windows?
No, I don't have any on my windows, but I know Mary Ellen does. Becky has some on hers too. There's quite a few that do have them and advertise. And you know, honest, I'm a crappy driver. And my biggest fear is someone is going to take a picture, put me on Facebook, and say I cut them off or something.
Oh, never thought of that.
I really am a bad driver. So, oh my gosh, I could imagine. Because you know how you see that, oh, lady in the black Kia Soul, you know?
Yeah, well.
I'm going to get you. So. But anyway,
I got business cards too, and I was wondering if you had any tips on, you know, any, you know, creative ways to use those.
What about at like local restaurants or stuff like that? I know a lot of like fast food joints around here by us. They just have like them on the counter. People throw them in a bowl, or they're just on the counter. Our library has a place where we can put them on display. Our grocery store does. Those are all, you know, places where. And like our library is a place where a lot of moms go and hang out because their kids are in programs and stuff like that. Your park district stuff, places like that. I'm just saying because the places that I hang out with my daughter and I see these, you know, these things out there, and I put up flyers and stuff too. So
you can get them at the Office Supply. There's magnets, and you peel off the top of them, and you stick your business card on them. And for my live cooking shows, I just put it on their refrigerator before I leave. And it's nice if I do a repeat show that my magnet is still there. So that's something you could probably mail your host too as a thank you, you know, with a little thank you note. And then they have your name and you're their Pampered Chef lady.
Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. The other thing that I forgot to tell you when I was talking about the Post-its, putting them on the catalog so you could get their information. So Mary Ellen Finch, and maybe she'll watch the replay, but all of her information that she carries with her is recruiting information. So the Life Tastes Great brochure. And so when she's out and about, and people say, oh, do you have a catalog, or let me get you a catalog, she'll go through, she'll pull it out. She's like, you know what, I'm out of catalogs, but take this, give me your information, and I'll mail you a catalog. So she hands out always recruiting information. This is just a little bit about Pampered Chef and our business opportunity. You know, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but take a look at it. But give me your information and then I'll get you a catalog out. So she's made two kind of connections there. Number one, she started with recruiting. Number two, she got her information and is going to send out a catalog and be able to follow up on that. So that's kind of a sneaky way. And she said she did it by accident because the first time she didn't have any catalogs, all she had was recruiting information.
That's a good idea. And it's probably cheaper. Right? It's probably cheaper to give out the information. And then if they're like, you know, at first, if they don't really follow through.
Yeah, I thought it was smart. Right. Super smart.
Yeah.
Okay, homework. Your homework this week is listen to Abundant Bookings with Susan Warshay and Missy Ellitz. So you're going to go to PCU. You're going to go to Bookings up in the upper right-hand corner, Peer Sharing, and then look for the Abundant Bookings. And then you're going to share at least 5 takeaways with me through Facebook Messenger. And how many shows will you commit to booking this week? Just tell me.
I want to book 3 parties.
Who is this?
Jennifer Velasco.
Okay, Gen V. Shows. Okay, who else?
Well, I'd like to get all of my June booked. I don't know if it's going to happen in 1 week, but I'm going to say 4.
4. Okay.
I'll go with 3 bookings for July because I'm not bad for June right now. So I'll go with 3 bookings for July.
Okay. Got it, Mercedes. Anybody else?
I'll say 3 bookings, Elisa.
Okay, Elisa. A-L-I-C-I-A?
A-L-I-S-A.
S-A. And you want 3 for June or July?
June.
Okay. Who else?
Jennifer Fletcher.
Okay.
3 for June.
3 for June. Okay, 3 is the magic number. All right. Anybody else? I can't see everybody. I don't know. I'm limited. Oh, Chris, can you hear me? He might be on mute. Okay. All right. Well, you can message them to me too. Okay. And how many out and abouts will you commit to?
How many out and abouts? Just talking about to people, you mean?
Yeah. How many times are you going to bring up Pampered Chef this week when you're out and about? Tell me your name first and then tell me how many times because sometimes it doesn't tell me who's talking.
I'll say Elisa 4.
Good job. Okay, 4 times this week. All right, good job.
Jennifer Fletcher.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 5.
Ooh, dang it. All right, who else?
This is Karen. I don't think I'm going to be out and about too much the rest of this week, so I'm going to say 2.
Good job. All right.
I'm just trying to think where I'm going. I know that's horrible, but I'm trying to think where I'm going to be. This week is kind of my quiet week. My daughter wrapped up ballet, which I've already talked all this stuff, so I'm just trying to think. I'll say 5 times because I pretty much talk to it about it to anybody I talk to. I did it on the phone today. Yeah, 5.
Okay.
Even if.
See, you and Jennifer Fletcher can be buddies because you're both 5. You can say, how many did you do? Where'd you do it?
Okay.
All right. Who else? How about Gen V? Did she leave?
3.
3. Okay. I got Jennifer Fletcher, I have Lisa, Mercedes, Karen, Gen V. Okay. So
I did one today. Does that count?
Oh,
kidding.
it's
I'm
good
joking.
practice, but it won't count for next week.
All right.
All right. So
I
after
was
you do
joking.
that, set up a follow-up call with me. Quick, 10 minutes or something, and tell me how many leads you got, how many bookings you got, what you have trouble with, what's one brag you have. So just a real quickie. And then go for 100 no's. Rocky's M&M challenge. And M&Ms can be candy. M&Ms could mean more money. Both. That sounds like the same thing. So I want you to count out 100 M&Ms into a Ziploc bag and make 14 contacts a day. And these could be through your parties too as they're going. And I know this is a lot, but I just divided 100 M&Ms, 7 days gives 14 a day. This is a lot, but you are going to love what it does for your summer and fall calendar. And Mara Ross always calls this like a push week, a push day, a push month, a push year. It's anytime you want to get something from where it is, your business from where it is right now to where you want it to be. And you don't always work this hard, but at the beginning, you're just going to do this push week and get it to where you want so that it starts running like a well-oiled machine. And you never have to do these out and about, I mean, strategically out and about, strategically, you know, touching people, because your bookings are going to come from your parties. So if you get a no, you get to eat an M&M. All right. So next week, you're going to show us your empty bag and your full calendar. All right. Because I bet you in those 100 no's, I bet you get about 10 to 20 yeses. Think you can do that?
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. I didn't even hear any no's. All right. A big thank you guys for attending, and congratulations on doing more with your business to getting it to where you want it to be. So we will see you next week, and I'll post the replay, and I'll post how to get to the homework again to listen to the call.
All right.
Thank you, Rocky.
Hey,
Oh,
thanks.
you're welcome. Thank you guys. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.